reporters have been given sleepless night over the last few days. Pallavi, Siddhant haven't slept because Donald Trump is threatening India with 50% tariff. You've been up through the night?
Yeah. I think we are the only generation of journalists. We are covering Modi government in the day and Trump government in the night, Trump administration in the night. So we go
so that
home.
must be the same story with the MEA also.
Yeah, that's the case with each one of us.
No,
like,
even the officials. They're also
even the
burning the
officials,
midnight oil.
journalists, people involved in the negotiations. Everyone is up waiting for President Trump's social media posts, and perhaps that is deciding the policy of United States these days. So yes.
You've been bumping into Jaishankar, you've been bumping into all the secretaries inside
And they have been
Parliament.
bumping into them, but no one is talking because they don't even know. All they say कि हम लोग रात भर सोते नहीं हैं because we don't know what he's going to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that level of uncertainty. But at least I can tell you this much: like yesterday, today, especially after Trump's bombshell, I didn't find them very hassle. Maybe politicians are supposed to look like that. But the more Trump is saying all this, the broader a smile on Piyush Goyal's face. So they were pretty kind of sorted about. Are they really sorted? I mean, they're not worried about.
I think they have a backing of Prime Minister, because what I've been told is that even when the negotiations were going on, PM's message to the team has always been very clear, and there is no second thought about it. That national interest first, as you also have been reporting, Pallavi, that there should not be any compromise when it comes to national interest, particularly in the sectors like agriculture, dairy. No concessions should be given, and PM has been PM and PM's team has been very, very particular about that, and there where the free hand has always been given to the negotiators. So they are very content, as you said, and this because they have backing from the top.
Yeah. So in the next 1 minute, just stay with us. We'll tell you where that negotiation stands. But coming back to why is Donald Trump so angry? It appears that he has some anger there with India. Yeah. Is it because of Operation Sindoor? Is it to do with the fact that on record in Parliament, Prime Minister has said that there was no third-party mediation, irrespective of 30 times that Donald Trump has said that I got India and Pakistan to the ceasefire table?
Or he thinks that Nobel Prize is not happening.
Nobel Prize is not happening. That's the reason, actually. So the pitch is ready for his Nobel Prize. So I think he already has endorsement from 5 to 6 countries, including Asim Munir from Pakistan and Bibi Netanyahu from Israel. So he thinks that the pitch is ready. But जो pitch में गड्ढा है, वो इंडिया ने कर रखा है, because India is not giving a credit for the understanding reached between India and Pakistan. और वो जो सारा काम है वो वहीं खराब हो रहा है.
Is it true that Donald Trump actually wanted Munir and Prime Minister to sit across the table? I mean,
well, many say so. We don't have any confirmation, because he called Prime Minister Modi and asked him to come to the United States and
on his way back from Canada.
A photo op he would have used to
but disaster for our domestic
but why would we even do it? We are not
Look,
going to do that.
Munir is not a head of state.
Yes.
Even how can you equate an army general with the Prime Minister of largest democracy?
Yeah, and how can you even expect our Prime Minister to sit across the table with someone who was calling for butchering of innocent people in Kashmir, and that happened in Pahalgam? Unthinkable. I mean, even by Donald Trump level, this was just taking it too far.
Yeah, but all the diplomacy and all these things that we talk on TV every day takes a U-turn when it comes to President Trump. Yeah. This is sovereign Republic of Trump. This is not United States. Let's be very clear about it. Yeah. His goals, his objectives, what he wants is paramount important for him, not what has been the policy of United States in continuity. So that's very clear, and we all have understood in last 8 months of his presidency.
So like we promised our viewers, Pallavi, help us understand, as far as negotiations go, does that 50% tariff mean that trade negotiation...
60 actually now, because a 10% penalty
also. So does this mean that now the negotiation is off, their team will not arrive?
But see, when I was trying to catch up with these ministers and all of them, they are saying from our side it's not off. As of now, वो ticket book है of 25th August, खाना पीना रहना, everything is on board. So we want the negotiations to be on. I think India also wants to send out a message that we are not stubborn and we are not whimsical. कि आप सुबह कुछ बोल रहे हो, रात को कुछ बोल रहे हो. Frankly speaking, if you look at the figures, reciprocal tariff में ना, there are many important items which we actually export more, like medicines and all. That doesn't come under the pharma sector. There's a little bit of some jewelry and all of that, gems. It doesn't come. So basically, they need us in a sense, and I'm not saying it because I want to sound nationalist or something like that, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
They need us for a lot of stuff. Someone was telling me this example very quickly that the car seat, the baby car seat, which they used to make the baby seat in the car, actually sourced only from China, and उसका दाम है around $490. अब उसमें tariff लग गया तो $900 का हो जाएगा. Now who is going to get angry? The parents. देना तो उनको है ना, Trump को थोड़ी देना है. That is what India is calculating, that maybe there's domestic pressure on Trump which will force him to. You think he'll do that? कहीं ना कहीं तो आप अपने देश के लोगों से भी मिलोगे.
That's what he did with Japan. You know, that's what he did with many other countries. Also, very important to highlight here that he has failed to stop the conflict in Europe. And that was his poll promise.
That was his Nobel Prize ticket.
Yeah, that was his biggest ticket for the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
So he has failed. So now what he's, I mean, that's my understanding. Now what he's looking for punching bags. Okay, to put blame on somebody else. That's what politicians do all across the world. That when they have failed to deliver, they put blame on somebody else. So now he's putting blame on India, that India is funding war in Ukraine. He's putting blame on China, on Brazil. And you know, that's what exactly.
But he doesn't understand what Indians are like. जितना हम लोगों को तुम push करोगे ना, उतना we are going to fight back. And I'm talking not about as a country, but even we Indians.
And also the next thing we will tell you, viewers, stay with us, is about how the opposition is playing a role. Because after all, Pallavi, Rahul Gandhi is saying repeatedly, call Trump a liar, call Trump a liar. That had played a role in where we are today.
Now that you cannot do that diplomatically up on the floor of the house.
Whatever we should say, we have already said.
Yes.
And you know, Pallavi, there is also one thing very important to understand, and I have been speaking to people in the government, think tankers, etc. You cannot be disrespectful to American presidency.
Or anyone for that matter. Diplomacy.
And we have never been like that. We have never been that kind of a country. We start doing hit jobs or things like that. We have never believed in that. In fact, largely, just for our viewers to understand it, that from the very beginning, there were a lot of comments made by world leaders on this tariff issue, you know, criticizing President Trump.
No, even the Brazil and India, the difference is so stark. The way Brazil is reacting and the way India is reacting.
But India's response has always been measured and very, very responsible. And in fact, Mr. Tharoor also said this in United States during his visit, that we have utmost respect for American president and American presidency. So we cannot be disrespectful. America is also a democracy. People of America has chosen Trump as the president. But you know, we will say what we want to say. We will make our point very
कांग्रेस वाले
strongly.
बोल रहे हैं कितने प्यार से जो थरूर बोलता है अमेरिका के लिए, हमारे लिए भी बोल दे.
But Dr. Tharoor this time has...
But that's not the SIR issue.
For a change this time...
He's also doing the diplomatic balancing act. जो राहुल गांधी जिस बात से खुश है वही बात करेंगे.
But would you say that on this particular issue, the economic blackmail that Rahul Gandhi said, yes, they're targeting the Prime Minister for saying you went around giving people hug, you called yourself a Vishwaguru, what is happening? That attack is happening. But more or less on the overall question of economic interest, national interest, are we speaking in one voice?
Yeah, but even in that, they're using Arunima to take a barb and pot shot. Like, itna dosti tha aapka, you know, why are you not able to protect and, you know, take, you know, concerned about the people? Because there is a concern. You know, there's the Kanpur, Vanpur ke bites I was seeing. You know, those things like carpet weavers,
the shrimp industry, they're very worried because the shrimp industry exports majorly, and Ecuador and Guatemala are their competitors. So
he beat him. Yesterday I saw him. He was outside the commerce minister's room. Then he went to finance minister's room. I said, "Aapko hua kya hai? You don't understand. In Kochi now you get lovely prawns, and now there's no one going to buy it because Andhra Pradesh has now emerged over Kerala. See, he also has a politics, right? Kerala mein to chunav hai.
He has to cater to his constituency.
Prawns and shrimps.
And the shrimps are perishable goods, so it's not that. I mean, gems. You can keep them in storage. Ki chalo 15 din mein.
Then you're underestimating Bengalis and Malayalam. I am a complete prawn and shrimp lover. We can freeze it and have it. You don't have non-vegetarians, so Arunima, you're not understanding. Even he doesn't understand. He's also vegetarian.
So that's the concern. That, you know, for an industry like shrimp,
but you're right.
You will have to find a solution soon because
you can't store it for long. And
exactly.
And there are loads of fishermen and all.
Also, a lot of shipments could be on way. So they're trying to cut, you know, get to their, you know, last point of wherever the delivery has to be before the deadline. So there's a lot happening within the government.
But what if those ship has sailed and beach mein aa gaya tariff, they come back? How does it work?
I think there is some provision for that. And in fact, you know, you see, Pallavi, just an hour back, we reported that how Japan has raised complaint with the United States. Some of their products are being double tariffed because the policy is not clear. You know, as I said, it's Sovereign Republic of Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, so what president wants, needs to be delivered. And a very important point, today you see State Department's response. It's again very measured and very responsible response. The State Department has to
So
say.
the Truth Social has a different response and the website
The
has
website has
a
a different
response.
response.
So confusing.
Yeah, State Department very clearly said that India is a strategic partner. We have some issues with India, and we discuss it in a fair and frank manner. So that is how a democracies conduct. Okay, but President Trump's conduct is very different. Perhaps that is what his MAGA supporters like about him. And he believes in
one
doing
thing
it
I have also picked up speaking to the top ministers is that they cannot be, and Prime Minister said this, that I know I'll have to personally pay a price, but there cannot be a compromise as far as dairy farmers are concerned, as far as farmers are concerned. They are like at the lowest ebb of our income pyramid. If their interest is going to be hurt, I don't think any government
But
can
frankly, I
survive.
don't know, this is where he will not have to pay a price because you won the farmers over,
Yes.
you've won the dairy industry over, and it's a win-win situation. Shivraj Singh Chauhan is smiling. Yesterday I saw him, lots of selfies with some farmers and women, and they are happy, This suits them, politically speaking.
And the fact that this government has been repeatedly attacked for being anti-farmer
Yes,
on
exactly.
the MSP law, this is the time for
This
the
is the
government to come out and say that, well, we'll do anything to stand by you. I mean, we will not let American, modified, gene modified crops to come here. Dairy is a very sensitive subject for us. The cows, the kind of injections that they're given in the United States, all of that for religious reasons, for emotional reasons, it's a sensitive subject.
And
here.
I was told that by the ministry that they were trying to push in for what they call vegan beef.
Yeah.
Now, these are sensitive issues in a country. How can we ever open up? No one will, for that matter. Yeah.
So there has been a lot of things, and those who question Prime Minister, I mean, let me put the record straight.
Yeah.
Prime Minister did whatever he could. India did whatever they could to initiate dialogue with President Trump. In fact, Prime Minister took an early visit to DC just to meet President Trump.
Yeah.
From Paris, he went to DC. That was a very short visit, just to visit to meet President Trump. So all those gestures have already been extended by India, but now he wants all those things which will never be accepted by democracy like India.
In diplomacy, I don't know what it is called, but in common parlance, it's called ego massage.
But is it Quad Summit? Will he come for that?
Well, I don't know.
खाना नहीं मिलेगा उनको यहाँ
Nobody
पे.
knows whether Quad
We
will
Indians
happen
know
or
how to
not.
punish people by
Yeah,
don't
we
giving them
are going to serve him mock meat. We'll serve him mock meat and show him that vegan beef तो नहीं चलता है यहाँ पे, mock meat जरूर चलता है.
It's possible that he comes, right? I mean,
Given the kind of tariffs he has slapped, I don't look at any possibility of
So
what happening.
before we wind up, we are almost there. One thing is very clear, that even though he's saying this is the irritant is India buying oil from Russia, that's not the real reason. Maybe India, South Bloc is yet to pinpoint the actual reason, and once they manage to pinpoint, perhaps a solution can be
I
found.
am also told, Arunima, that Lockheed Martin teams were here in New Delhi, and they wanted to speak to the Indian government for the purchase of F-35s.
Yeah.
And Indian government told them very clearly that, boss, we are
That's
not
working.
interested.
Yeah.
There's
That
no
India is
proposal.
pushing back.
I don't know. I don't have an independent
Yeah, but
confirmation.
I've read these
going
reports
by the
are coming in.
reports.
So India is pushing back, Pallavi. Closing comments. It's very clear.
good.
It's not
Absolutely.
business
I
as
only
usual.
hope they let us sleep. Yeah, I mean, this just goes on and on, but I hope there's a closure to it finally. But with Trump, you never know. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the sense I get is that this is our nice political moment also.
Yeah.
Apart from diplomacy, it's a political moment that we are standing up to someone like America. When was the last time you did it, and those kind of stuff. So yes.
Yes, so we'll leave you viewers. Tell us on social media what you think. Is Donald Trump actually doing this because we are buying oil from Russia, or is this about Operation Sindoor or the Nobel Prize? Tell us what you think as we bid goodbye from outside Parliament House.